alarm clock din para Good evening. This is Nikki from the Faces Trader. We are watching Awesome 10X. Please remember to subscribe to our channel for daily Philippine market updates as well as global market updates. So today, the Philippine markets, you could see a strong recovery in financials, particularly Security Bank. You also see airlines such as Macro Asia rising 8%, Cebu Pacific rising 5%. So what's happening in the Philippine market actually reflects what's been happening abroad as well. In fact, in our inner circle class, we discussed that sympathy love is a topic that every trader or investor should know. What we mean with sympathy love is that there are companies that are sector bad. Example, sector is airlines are bad, financials are bad on a sector-wide movement. But when the value is there, some people have a mentality to buy a battered name just because the market is starting to reopen, just because they believe that the industry for the airlines will start to recover soon. And what's happening abroad has been translating as well in the Philippine market. Now, take note that tomorrow, Security Bank, Macro Asia, East West MWIDE, they are gonna be forever deleted in the MSCI Philippine Index, which is your EPHE. Now, when they're deleted, there is less incentive for a foreigner to watch these companies, especially if they're not invested in the Philippine market as well. So what we could see in the charts is that I would say that today, the financials as a whole has been the primary mover in your index. Let's take a look in the chart so that you could see. Security Bank today gets a buy signal. It gets lots of volume. It is a strong risk-reward trade. And what we say is that when you position your sizes, you enter your, it's not about the price, it's more about the size. As you ladder into your position, you scale into your position. So for a long time, we've seen that Security Bank has been falling ever since the MSCI announced the deletion. Security Bank even fell to a new low. We've been discussing companies in the Philippines going to new lows. In fact, yesterday, 10 new 52-week lows, or was it another day ago? The point is, Security Bank has been falling all the way, even reaching your 4,000 PSEI index, which is a certain, which is a mark where some people believe is the low. Now, for bad names, we know that they don't recover fast. So this is actually your double bottom for Security Bank. Your first low was PSEI 4,000. Then the yesterday new low was your next double bottom. Today's reversal is a bullish engulfing candle saying that whoever sold from 84 to 77 is already somebody who capitulated at the possible short-term low. Now, if you go to the risk-reward setup, it looks like Security Bank can go as high as 90 to 95 for a gap, for just to resume that gap wherein it fell on that MSCI. It could even close that gap here at 100, presenting risk traders a 1 risk and a 3 reward. Therefore, it was a trade that most traders did for the day. Financials gets a buy rating from me, Faces Trader. Security Bank, we did buy today, 83, 84, with an entry point tomorrow. If it falls near 80 to 79, it's still gonna be bought. Your cut loss is this previous low of about 76, 77. So this is a good risk reward. This is a trade that all the professional traders will do. They'll buy Security Bank today. If you're watching this, take a look at these trades. Trading setup, Security buy, Security Bank gets a buy. Of course, we saw that when Security Bank bottomed out, BDO, the biggest bank in the Philippines in terms of market cap and assets and deposits, is now getting a higher low. Why do we call it a higher low? Because when the PSEI index fell 4,000, that was when the global markets bottomed as well. In the Philippines, it was March 19. Globally, it was about March 23. from March 20 to March 23, we saw that the entire world went up. Even in the US, if you look at the US charts, all the financials have been rising, whether it's Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan. The financials as a sector has been rallying on the reopening efforts. Now, these banks have been battered down so much, and we are seeing that globally, since the banks are being revalued higher, we're seeing a higher low for BDO. So it also gets a buy rating from me today. We saw that today at 90 bucks, we are getting that support. Your risk is 86. So from 86 to 90, we are seeing a ledge of support. This is your first higher low. And if you look at your Fibonacci, that means that BDO has been able to make a higher low here at about 85. That is a specific Fibonacci 236. And we can see that the potential rally is 100, which is where your breakdown came from. From 90 to 100, 5 peso risk, some people are willing to take that trade. They buy today in the hopes of laddering into more buy positions in the next few days, as long as it's between 85 to 91. And this is also a buy signal for me. BDO and Security Bank are our buys for the financial sector. Now, notice that all the banks rallied today. It wasn't just for the big banks, even for the smallest banks. Some of the small banks are PNB. We're seeing PNB start to rally, although very low volume. So we cannot say much. It could retest 19. But the point is, it is starting to double bottom for your financials. Take a look with your East West. After falling to a new low, East West is also starting to climb up. Take note that East West as well as Security Bank have been deleted in your MSCI. Again, Morgan Stanley Composite Index is a representation of the Philippines. When you look at the US, you're looking at EPHE, that's the ticker symbol, that's MSCI Philippines. And a lot of the people in the Philippines are reflecting that deletion of these companies are a negative state. Of course, we've seen Security Bank and East West fall ever since May 13, since announcement. 770 all the way to 6 bucks. That's about 30% drop. Can East West rally back to 7 or 770? So far, there's bargain hunting happening here at about 6 to 6.4. People who want to buy Security Bank, East West, these names are being bought up. So we've seen airlines, for instance, in the US, for the last 2 weeks, Delta Airlines have been rallying 40%. Now, Philippines has been lagging, to be honest. A lot of companies in the bad sectors are going up. We call them sympathy love. So people will love you just out of sympathy. They don't really like you, but they will play with you. They will have a casual fling with you. So Security Bank, Cebu Pacific, we're seeing that there are people willing to trade this. So you could see that there's a bearish, there's a new low, but with this one, we're looking at a bullish divergence here. What the bullish divergence mean is that even as the prices are falling, the strength of the sellers are actually not as bad. So you could actually see that from your indicators, relative strength index. So you'll see that even as Cebu Pacific went to a new low, the selling pressure is actually less. We are seeing that bullish divergence here. And so we could see that there's enough people willing to bet that at 33, they want to bet small, 3 peso loss, but a potential gain of about 17 pesos. Where in the world can you make a bet wherein you lose 3, you win 17? So as you could see, the market is just really about betting the right setups. And Cebu Pacific, of course, at this level, is a good bet to make. Now, we only say that as traders, as players, it's all about making a lot of shots and knowing your field goal percentage. Take note that Stephen Curry, Steve Kerr, the best three-pointers, field goal percentages have about 45% hit ratio. But even if you have small hit ratios, as long as you make a lot of money when you make the right moves, you win 3 points when those 45% shoots are done. Actually, in the Philippines, it's not always 3 points. Sometimes a 3 points could be a 10%. Sometimes a three-pointer can be a 20%. So in this case, 33 to 50, that's a potential move of about, that's a 30% move, isn't it? Okay, sorry, it's a 50% move. So some people will take the risk, lose 5 to 10%, make 50%. Some will make a trade for Cebu Pacific. And you can see this huge volume is a sign of people making a bet on your airlines. Now, have the people who made the bet on airlines made money? Well, yes, Macro Asia has been rising. We've seen this one of the best double, triple bottoms you can think of. Macro Asia last week has already shown that big bounce move after falling to a new low of 340, rally to 420. This retest at about 360, 380 has become something that people believe is a bottom. You make bottoms after retesting several times. And so far, the buyers have been correct. So far, 440 Macro Asia, we still see went new lows are actually being picked up. We could see this happen globally. We've been talking about sympathy love, wherein even the retail outlets like CPRI, TPR, SGMS, they've been bought out in the US, some 70, 80%, some 100% from lows. So that means that your bad names, so you could see that there's a potential bargain hunting from the people. MSCI Deletion. They would buy whatever is deleted, whether it's Security Bank, whether it's East West, MWIDE, Macro Asia, and you could see that they are trading these bounces for a good 10-20% move. We could see as well that, so this MWIDE is getting a buy. You could see that bullish signal for your MWIDE. So far in the news front, Jollibee is still suffering. There's news today that Jollibee released in their first quarter 2020 report that they've lost 2 billion. They said that it's more important for them to keep their employees. Now, for those people, 1,000 stores owned by Jollibee that have to pay about all the employees, 10 employees. We're talking about Jollibee had to make a net loss this quarter of 2 billion pesos. Now, this is true not just for Jollibee, but for all your major employers. It's true as well for your BDOs, which is a bank. I mean, just because the branch is closed, not all banks have opened up, doesn't mean they cannot pay, do not pay their employees salary. So therefore, a lot of labor-related expenses would really translate to all the big corporations, and it's really not gonna easily just recover. Been falling. Jollibee so far is going down. You've got the resistance at 130. Will it go bottom here at 90 or will it go higher low? So far for BDO, we saw that it was higher low. So this could be higher low here. We'll take a look at whether there's support at 100 to 110. So so far, the resistance is still strong. We still see a strong resistance here at 135. Yeah, so in general, I would say that the Philippine market, your statistics, let's take a look on the statistics on the index. Index-wise, market value 4 billion. You've got more advancers. The advancers really came from your financials. I'd say that a lot of the moves have come from financials, Security Bank. Oh, this one too, Bloomberry. Bloomberry is a classic stay outside of your home stock. And the casinos, we've seen it go up worldwide. We've seen Boyd Gaming go 10 times from $3 to $3.60 to $30. Sorry, that was Penn National Gaming, Boyd Gaming, Scientific Games. All of the casinos worldwide have gone up 100% to 10, some of them 1,000% from the lows. So I think some people are playing catch up. You have seen that Bloomberry here at about 530 to 540 has been a lot of massive buy transactions, buybacks from Razon, the owner of Soler, Bloomberry Casino. And so we think that until now, Bloomberry still has leeway to recover even to about 7. So this is a first signal, not a significant volume, but that is considered a breakout for Bloomberry. So some people will also see that, okay, today, May 28, 2020, wow, that's great. We have financials rallying, we have airlines rallying, we have Bloomberry rallying, we have some construction names rallying. Are the retail names rallying? Okay, SSI so far has stopped bleeding. So we've seen retail stores abroad also talk about retail apocalypse, and yet a lot of retail has recovered 100% from their lows as there's the reopening is starting to pick up the sales, and of course they've ramped up their e-commerce as well. So far we're seeing that maybe there is a bullish divergence here in your SSI. We just need to wait for more volume. But definitely, your Macro Asia has led the way. It wouldn't surprise me if Cebu Pacific actually starts rallying back to about 40 pesos in the next few days, even when tourism industry is seen by a wider majority to be a bad sector. Okay? So that ends my report. I hope to see you guys again tomorrow for our MSCI and a month-end wrap-up. This is Nikki Yu signing out.
All right. Nikki? May question lang na isa. Why is the Philippines being left out by the foreign investors? Can you comment?
Okay, sige. Let me answer that. In general, I think the Philippines is left out by foreign investors because we don't have a lot of the resilient companies that they like. The companies that we have, primarily if you look at in the Philippines, your Philippine destination is the biggest in the Philippines is SM Investments, which is a traditional company. SM's business is your properties like SM Prime, your malls. So in general, worldwide, there is a definite outflow in commercial real estate, in properties in general. So I think that when your biggest giants in the Philippines are not technology firms, which are COVID-proof, pre-COVID and post-COVID, Philippines really is left out in the world scene. The world generally is buying a lot of cloud, e-commerce names, games, remote work. So I think the problem why they're not coming into the Philippines is that we are not a COVID-proof company. The companies in our best, biggest, and largest are not COVID-proof. So as you know, if we can't stay outside, some of the revenues of our large companies would really suffer. So we are still more like dinosaur countries in their mind. So that's one reason why. And I think the reason why foreigners are not very much coming into the Philippines is because not just because they lack the company, but the liquidity in itself in the Philippines is very bad. So as you know, the Philippine, so it's a chicken and egg question. They won't enter because there's no liquidity. So the more they don't enter, the more the liquidity is dropping. Diba? So it's really more of that.
Okay.
I hope that answers the question.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you. All right.